The Touching History project raises the profile of Minton's earliest encaustic tile patterns. Quite literally, during the project, 3D interpretations of these tiles were created that raised the pattern from the base, making them tactile and accessible to people with visual impairments. Appreciating and feeling gratitude for our local urban environment is key to well-being. You may find yourself noticing more tile patterns and other heritage to appreciate. Which was your favourite?
And the lion one.
Because the lion is the king of beasts, it symbolises things like courage, nobility, royalty, strength, stateliness and valour.
I mean, I've got a little bit of sight, so I can see, because of the contrast, because my condition, I need contrast. So if that was just a paler version of that, then I wouldn't see it as much, but because of the contrast, I can't. Because you see with more than just your eyes, you see with your hands and your brain, what your brain interprets. Because it isn't just about your sight. It's what you make of it.
Yeah, can you tell it's a lion?
Yeah, because it's got a male. It's the classic. It's the standard. What you see everywhere. It's the. Is it a rampant?
It is. It is a rampant lion.
See, we did learn something when we come through the door, didn't we?
So these two publications really stand at the beginning of what you call Minton Encaustic Tile making. And of course, when you go through the pattern book, right, here's the inscription again, and that inscription, of course, is placed next to that famous number 1. Right? And now, of course, I would like to argue that that number 1 isn't designed by that architect A.W.N. Pugin, right, who was actually active in the sort of Staffordshire area. Right? He was very well sort of known and acquainted with John Talbot, the 16th Earl of Shrewsbury, right? And by the time also, I think he knew Herbert Minton as well.
You're in the place that made these things. So these streets, just to kind of orientate you around where you're at. These streets are, they're a bit down at heel nowadays. You guys came down off the beaten track, down a little side street, Swan Street, and through relatively scruffy factory doors. Outdoor toilets. Yeah, including an outdoor toilet. And you come through, and what you hopefully have already experienced in terms of the fabulous project descriptions and background, but when we go next door to people still making. So there's an awful lot of bad press in recent decades about Stoke-on-Trent. The industry, the ceramic industry more generally, has sadly declined in many ways and places. And we had some very, very sad news about Dudson historic factory over the last 24 hours or so, which is a big blow. But I just want to kind of just say this is what's going on. Now, down all of these little back streets and behind all of these scruffy doors, you've still got a city of artists and scientists. Take a bit in your hand, yeah. And then just feel it. It's dust. They call it dust, but it's basically, it's called granular clay for. And it pushes that down onto there. It goes kadunk. It's a lovely sound. It's like 8 elephants. Wow. On top of that tiny little bit of dust that you've held. When that pressure goes on it, this is what happens. It becomes this.
No extra.
Nothing extra. So just feel that. You both hold each end and see if you can both break it. Okay? Yeah. Watch your faces, but yeah. Can you break it? Oh. Okay. Yeah. You break. See if you can break that in half. Okay. So it's like a wafer, yeah. So can you feel it? So just going back to what it means is when it's been.
You recognise that tile?
Yeah, that's right. The one with the lion on, from the Talbot family, is it, or from Alton Towers? Because I've seen it up at Alton Towers at the castle.
But it makes life a lot more interesting. If you know what's about you, doesn't it? Yeah, and that's a case for everybody. If it's a case for me, it's a case for anybody.
4 out of these 5 tiles are to do with John Talbot. So you'll see that in the book later. So the first one is a medieval reproduction, but then the other 4 are coat of arms related to John Talbot or his family.
Wow, no, I don't know if I've ever seen that one. Yeah, amazing. What's this one now?
That one's to do with his wife, I believe, and that stretches all the way back to William the Conqueror.
Wow, fantastic. I love these.
To think that people put this much effort for something you walk on as well. It isn't just for show, that's what always fascinated me about Minton tiles. It's going to the detail for something you walk on. Because you're not automatically looking at it. Even if you're sighted, I presume, you're just busy with other things, like your phone and whatever.
So we created a project called Love Stoke. That was about being positive for the local area. Because one of the key contributors to well-being is noticing and appreciating and then feeling grateful for the things that are in our urban environment. See, if we're not appreciative of what's in our urban environment, our local environment, we can feel bad about the place where we live. But feeling good about the place that we live is really important. So this is one of the key contributors, especially in Stoke-on-Trent, where we're here, because pottery is abundant. What did you like today? Did you like anything here today?
That I made my hands dirty.
How did you make your hands dirty?
By breaking the pottery.
You've broken some pottery. Okay, that's good.
Fantastic. I love these. Beautiful. Can I take them home?
Hazel just asked, said you were coming here and would I like to come? So it's been fascinating, absolutely fascinating.